Good morning. Been a while since I've actually made like a video, you know what I mean? Today I wanted to start today's video with Psalm 118:24. This is the day the Lord has made. We will excuse me, we will rejoice and be glad in it. Can I get an amen? Amen. Today is a beautiful. So today is unfortunately a day where I won't be going to church because my wife currently has a car. We only have one car. But they do live stream their services, so I'll be at least watching it at home. So tomorrow I start my new job. Hopefully they give me enough hours to be able to pay rent and my other bills, as they're currently cutting my wife's hours, so it's kind of hard to know how each day is going to be. So, there has been quite a lot of things that has been happening in the world lately that I would like to talk about. So currently, as of right now, my personal opinion on Charlie Kirk has not changed. In terms of my research on him, I literally cannot find any fault to the guy. Yes, there are some things that he said that I don't even agree with, but I have yet to meet someone that I 100% agree with besides Jesus. So, meeting people to agree with them 100%, that's like an impossibility. Every single one of us is different. We are all special in our own way, the way that God has created us. We will never find someone who is exactly like us through and through. The only person that is as close to me is my cousin. And we almost, well, we have a joke that because we look a lot alike. We like the same things. We vote the same way. We, we're basically like the same side of the same coin. We are almost like identical twins, and it's hilarious. But she's the only person, but even her and I have things that are a little bit different. She likes driving big trucks. I do like driving big trucks too, don't get me wrong, but I have found the pleasure of driving economic vehicles, smaller cars that get great gas mileage, which my car gets amazing gas mileage. So, yeah, I'm kind of like obsessed with that. um but yeah, so peace has finally been signed between the war that's currently raging in the Middle East. We have peace in the first time in a while. Um, so I think that's amazing. We live in an age now where like war is pointless in my opinion. Um, because back in the day, whenever there was a war fought, um, during the Cold War, World War One, World War Two, all the wars before that, it was to expand territory. What do you want to call it? Protect one's way of life. Um, try to, not allow evil dictatorships to, you know, like achieve greatness. I guess you could say, because I find dictatorships to be awful. Like I have done tons of research on it throughout history. History is our second greatest teacher, and so many people like literally ignore history, and it makes no sense to me. Jesus being our number one greatest teacher. Um, but yet we finally have peace. And like you would think, my goodness, what is happening? Like literally have not been coughing, like hardly at all, for the most part this week, and now all of a sudden, Um, but like I don't know, like I watch how certain groups of people are reacting, and I just scratch my head because I don't understand why they aren't celebrating that there's peace. They're not. They're just protesting and complaining. Like you wanted there to be peace, but now you're not wanting peace. I don't know. It is weird the things that I am seeing. How like unhinged some people are, and it makes me sad. I pray for them all the time. Um, and it's just wow. Other good news is if you don't know about a certain website that was meant to be one thing but ended up being something else, their their number one model person found Jesus, and I find that to be amazing. She's literally our modern day oh gosh, I can't remember her name. Oh dear. Let me see. There was a prostitute that Jesus spoke to that I can't remember her name. But like she is like our modern day version of that. And it just like it makes me so happy to see, people who was like just living in sin, who didn't seem to really care or want to know about Jesus or anything, to find the Jesus and to be one in our worship with God. And it's just it makes me so happy. I find that industry to be there are two industries I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure that there are more that I do not like. That is, I find to be a complete real problem on human society. And that is alcohol, because we as human beings don't really know how to moderate. I know from personal experience, I have now completely sworn off alcohol. I don't drink it at all. Haven't touched it in years. And a certain industry that started back in the, was it the 80s? No, it wasn't the 80s. I remember doing research on it just out of curiosity. Um there's a certain industry which I will not name it because guidelines, but you should know which industry I'm referring to. Like that one is, I think, the number one leading problem to what most people are struggling with, especially men. Um, Men suffer from it the most for sure because it's just how we're wired. We are very lustful in our ways, and it takes literally the grace of Jesus for us not to fall into those lustful natures. Um, yeah, I mean, I have been seeing a lot of good news lately, and it just makes me smile. It makes me happy. It makes me feel joy. And, man, it has been a great week for sure. I'm actually planning, once I do get the funds to acquire this item, there is a particular company that makes basically basically pictures you can hang on your wall. This plate, no, if you haven't heard of it, I only recently heard of it like this year. Basically, they make posters that are made of metal, so you don't have to worry about um them getting ripped or broken in some way, because I actually have, like, I'm a huge nerd. I have a character named Darth Revan, who is from Star Wars Extended Universe. I have like posters of him that have ripped, and I still have them. Um, but like this plate makes it like out of metal, and the way that they have it set up is you basically put like a magnet on your wall that can easily be removed. That won't damage your wall, and you just stick it on there. I plan on getting a few disc plates, and one of them is going to be of Charlie, because in terms of like the modern day person that should inspire you, based on what I have seen, he is at the top of the list for sure. I still haven't found anything that leads him to being racist. I haven't. I even put it in a comment, and I'll actually address this now. There's actually a couple of comments that I have responded to. One of them being the people that are labeling him as a fascist or racist, sexist, whatever, basically take a book, or just use them. They take a book. They take a book, right? They just open up to a random page in the book, right? Read like one set. Oh, open up Psalms. They read like one or two sentences of that entire book, close the book, set it down, say, that's what the whole point of the book is. And make an opinion based on like those two sentences. That's what they did with Charlie. And he even addressed this to people. It's like, you didn't watch the whole video, or you didn't like listen to the entirety of the context of what was being talked about. Because they don't. And it's obvious that they don't. Like I said in one of my updated videos, I kind of like, part of me wants to change my name to what was it, Mr. What? Mr. Unbiased, because like I said, I want this channel to be strict, unbiased, unfiltered, unedited type of stuff, you know? And so if I do research on something, and if there's something you guys want me to do research on, and I do it, I go to the source. I do listen to what other people say, because, you know, their opinions also matter when it comes to my research. I listen, I read a lot of comments. Oh my gosh, I read so many comments. Like when I was doing my research on Charlie Kirk, I was going hard. I was watching a lot, and there's still thousands of hours of content that I still need to watch. But yeah, so Displate. I'm planning on getting something for Charlie Kirk from Displate, if they will let me get something. I got another comment. I know it said I made two comments. One of them about like some basically like taking a book, reading two sentences, and that's basically what they did with Charlie. And then the other one was someone made a comment saying that they weren't sure because they believe that he wasn't racist. Now he's not sure. For every like one person that made a video about him being racist or sexist or whatever, there's like 10 to 100 videos with evidence showing that he's not any of those things. For every one person who says that he is one of the many things that they state that he is, there are 100 to 1,000 people that say the exact opposite. So it's like, if you take remember those like back in like ancient times, that scale that like weighed the weight? It's like, here's one group that's trying to say all these hateful things towards him, and then here's a group of people that, let's say, the exact opposite. Like the scale would like break, and this side would just like fly off into like this space. It makes me sad to see so many people that are blind to reality. People that just straight up refuse to basically do what I'm doing and going to the source and actually being completely unbiased, going in with an open mind. Because there are people who sit there and say that, oh, I'm open, I have an open mind, I'm down to but then their actions scream that they're actually not, you know? But there has been a lot of good things that has been happening lately, and it makes me happy. But even with that being said, the devil is still hard at work to try to suppress Jesus' word. Now, the thing that is great about our Lord is he is omnipresent. He is always with us. Every single one of us, he's with us. Guess who's not? The devil. Most of his time is spent with Jesus saying, hey, look at this guy. See, he's super sinful. Hey, look at this guy. Hey, look at this guy. Hey, look, like, he's not always here. He's too busy. He doesn't have the ability, so he has minions that go out and do their thing. Actually, I had a one-on-one with my pastor the other day because he wanted to get to know me because I'm new to the church, and so we sat down at a coffee shop and talked. Really awesome dude. I'm gonna be watching his sermon on YouTube because they stream it. Speaking of which, I need to text him and ask him what the channel is again, because I completely forgot, because I am bad with names! Alrighty. But yeah, so the devil is still hard at work. There are still Christians being hunted in other countries, where the devil reigns supreme. But either way, if you look at all the bad things that are happening, but then you look at an honest Christian, and you will see that they're not even remotely worried. Like, I was even, when I was talking to my pastor about me losing my job, like, I wasn't even remotely stressed or worried. I literally, like, looked at Jesus and was like, all right, I'm ready for whatever you have for me next. I am ready. Let's go. Like, Jesus is so wonderful. He prepares us for things that we need to be strong for the mission that he has for us. Like, when I was talking to my pastor, I told him, like, there was a lot of dark in my life. So much dark. But one thing I can say is I am very thankful for it, because I know that our Father, who's up in heaven, was preparing me to be the man that I am today, to think the way that I think today, to be able to understand other people. Because one thing I can say is, if someone goes through something here in the US, I have most likely gone through something very similar or the exact same thing. Now, I haven't been tortured, but the amount of bullying that I have gone through where I was living in fear and the amount of physical pain that they did on me, I can at least kind of relate. But yeah, like, there's a tons of things that I have gone through. Too many for one person to really go through, and there are people who've gone through more than I have. That I even look back at it now, I'm like, how am I the way that I am now? You know what I mean? But yeah, so I'm very thankful for the life that I've lived. I know that our Father up in heaven was preparing me to be the man that I am today, and now I know that I have the strength and the will to make these types of videos, where before I did not. Like I said at my very first video, I was scared to talk about my faith in a public setting like this because I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be shunned. I know what it is like to be targeted. Targeted hard. And I didn't like that. Um but the difference between me being shunned and hated and targeted back then wasn't because of my faith. Most people had no idea that I was even, you know, one with Jesus. But then again, back then I didn't really kind of act it either. I was a wild child, you know what I mean? But it's just, you know, I'm very thankful. And now I have the strength and the will to spread the Lord's word and to actually have the ability to be completely unbiased, to go in with zero expectations, to um process things the way that I process. Like I actually learned at a very young age, and it's kind of depressing to I'll use movies as an example and TV shows and video games and stuff. So at a very young age, I learned that it is better to go into a movie theater or to watch a show or to play a game that you're looking forward to with zero expectations. Reason being, you won't be disappointed if it ends up being bad. Granted, there are still things I was very disappointed about because they, weren't as good as they could have been. Um, but when it comes to like the world, I go in with a completely open mind, a open heart, a unbiased like thought process behind it. And one thing I can say is having this type of mind, at least to me, like it makes things better, you know? And one thing that I do love to do, and I haven't done it as much as I used to, is just go outside and just enjoy nature. Now, where I currently live, I can do that. It's not too hard, but like I can't do it as well as I used to when I lived on a farm. Oh man, those are the best times. I lived on when I lived on a farm. I wish I still lived on that farm. Oh man, that was so nice. Living out in the country where it's quiet, hear like the animals. Now out where I live, the winters did get pretty crazy. Snow got thick, and man, that was even during the winter. Like whenever it wasn't snowing super like no, when the wind wasn't blowing super hard, but it was still snowing, like that peace, I cannot describe the amount of peace that you could experience in those moments. But yeah, I'm just now rambling. TED Talks, am I right? um, man, it's just a lot of good news lately. Peace has finally been established. Now I'm just hoping that peace between another pointless war that's currently raging get that peace happens. Because oh man, that war has been going on for too long. That so many people have lost their lives for a meaningless fight. I'm looking forward to more good news. And good news on for my end is I start work finally tomorrow. Um, I haven't heard anything back from the other job. I did send them an email saying, "Hey, you know what's going on? Is there an update?" Because I really do want that job. Oh my gosh, I really want that job. Oh, I so hope I get that job. Um, and the interview experience that I had with them was literally the best interview experience that I've ever had. It was amazing. Let's see. But yeah, Let me know what's going on with y'all. Give me some more good news, because I love good news. And if there's something that you want me to do research on to look up, I am more than happy to do it. I actually am kind of wanting to, review history with y'all, because history is our second greatest teacher, and people just do not use it or do the proper history check, because there's like so many false narratives out there about history now, and it's just like, what? But thank you so much for tuning in again. I love you all. God bless you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic day. Bye bye.